Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of April. This is CTV News. Tonight, thawing a cold case. Police make arrests in the murder of a woman 5 years ago. Return of the tents. Warmer weather brings more homeless to encampments. Frozen in time. Ski Martok saves a giant snow pile for next year.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. Nearly 5 years after the fact, police in St. John have arrested 3 people in connection with the death of a local woman. The body of Courtney McKenzie was found a week after she was reported missing in May of 2021. CTV's Avery McCrae has more.
Nearly 5 years after a 27-year-old woman was found dead in St. John's North End, the city's police force has a break in the case.
As a result of a lengthy and complex investigation that was led by the St. John Police Major Crime Unit, 3 arrests have been made in relation to the death of Courtney McKenzie.
McKenzie was reported missing on May 8, 2021, with her body being found a few days later on May 11th at a Victoria Street home. In the years to follow, the file saw few updates, except for a pair of arrests in April of 2023 when a 34-year-old woman and a 36-year-old man were taken into custody and later released. Then yesterday, police announced they had arrested and charged 39-year-old Terrence Keelaher on a number of offenses related to McKenzie's death, including manslaughter, kidnapping, forcible confinement, and assault. A 40-year-old man was also arrested for being an accessory after the fact and for improperly interfering with human remains. And today, police announced a 37-year-old woman, the same one who was arrested 3 years ago, is facing charges including improperly interfering with human remains in relation to McKenzie's death.
These investigations are complex, they are lengthy, waiting for evidence to come back, tying up some loose ends, making sure that everything is done very thoroughly. And then there's consultations with the Crown to review the charges, to review the file.
Reporters asked police a number of questions, including the cause of McKenzie's death, which Fowler declined to answer, citing the ongoing investigation and court proceedings. When asked if more arrests are expected as it relates to the death investigation of Courtney McKenzie, police say not at this time. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
Man has been charged now with aggravated assault after a youth was badly injured in Wagma. Police called to a school on Shore Road around 4 a.m. Sunday morning. The victim had life-threatening injuries after some kind of altercation. Police say 19-year-old Landon Francis later turned himself in to police in Badek. He's been released pending future court appearances. Some very anxious moments in downtown Halifax today. Clouds of thick black smoke poured from a fire at a construction site on Cogswell Street. Seems some building materials sitting between the new high-rise and a house went up in flames just after the noon hour. It sparked evacuations and a major response from Halifax Fire. In fact, about 10 trucks and supporting units responded, helping about a dozen people get out of the vicinity of the fire.
The thing with the smoke, it was the type of material. So when you get a lot of construction debris, a lot of it's petroleum-based, which gives off that heavy black smoke. So that's what we encountered when we arrived.
No injuries reported in all of this. Cogswell Street was closed while crews investigated, but by late this afternoon, workers were back inside. There's no word yet on the extent of the damage to the apartment building. Groups opposed to shale gas development in Nova Scotia are organizing for a long fight.
A starting point is 200 wells, and they were talking about 200 wells between Cookook and Knoll, and take about a 3-kilometer path along Knoll Road. That's, we live there.
More than 60 people attending this information session in Cookook this evening, inviting people to bring questions, comments, and concerns about hydraulic fracturing, commonly known as fracking. The province is exploring new possibilities for resource and energy development, but critics say the practice is far too dangerous.
Fracking was here last time, and so we are probably the target this time if it's going to happen again. And the government has geared up to the point that they're ready to hand out bribe money to get some company here. You know, ending the moratorium wasn't good enough.
The issue heated up in Windsor earlier this week during a government-hosted information session, protesters shouting down some of the presentations. Premier Tim Houston pushed back online, arguing resource development is needed for good jobs in Nova Scotia and to pay for services like health care.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Well, with the local elections looming in the province of New Brunswick, some former mayors are opening up about personal attacks and harassment they faced on the job. In a candid discussion in a podcast, some former city leaders admitted they sometimes faced real threats and real danger.
My son was physically assaulted twice. I got lots of death threats, lots of anonymous accounts, followed down alleys.
There was a man in jail, I don't know if he still is, for threatening my life. I got 2,500 life-threatening emails in a 24-hour period once.
The Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick has been calling for a stronger framework at the local level to deal with harassment in local politics. The increasingly warmer weather is bringing more people to homeless encampments in Dartmouth. Eventually, the city hopes to close all of the sites, but there is a lot to consider. CTV's Emma Convey has more.
PJ McKay has been living at this encampment in Dartmouth for the past 3 years. She says it was once a community to her. Now it's pure survival.
Pretty stressful. There's days that you can relax, but there's days you hear a lot of fighting, arguing.
The Green Road location is one of HRM's 2 designated encampment sites. Their winter months here are quieter, but now McKay tends to see movement.
Around this time of the year, every year, we get an increase of tents.
She says many of those living here are returning from last year, but she's seen a few new faces too. The Halifax Regional Municipality says the numbers haven't changed much and are lower than a few weeks ago. They claim more people are turning to indoor options, although Councillor Tony Mancini says as the temperatures warm up, it tends to be the opposite.
They just had bad experiences in some of the shelters. It could be a mental health issue, it could be a safety issue. There are a variety of reasons, and so they would prefer to be in a tent versus in one of the designated shelters.
The municipality's desire is to eventually close encampments. Mancini says he's on board as long as people have a place to go.
A pallet shelter in my district that is well received. A lot of concerns by the community moving in that they were worried about it, but it turns out for the most part been really good.
But he, like others, would like to see more affordable housing, something Nicholas DeWolf agrees with. After being homeless for the past 5 years, he was living in a tiny home in Sackville, but has since been kicked out. He's now moving to the Bridge Shelter.
The problems that go on in these places it's horrible and it's sad. It's nothing but mostly drug enabling.
He says he could end up at this encampment and is hoping things will get better.
I just want to feel like a normal citizen, and I want people to have a better chance.
Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
New Brunswick is extending the tourism season at one of the province's most popular spots. Hartley Beach near Shediac will have its season pushed back to mid-October. This is all part of the province's plan to increase tourism revenues by keeping some places open longer. Officials have earmarked about $100,000 to make this happen. The Village Historique Acadian is another site that will also see more days in operation. Meantime, the news is not quite so good for another tourist site along the Bay of Fundy. Board of Directors at Cape and Rage Interpretive Center announcing today the site will not reopen. The board is blaming the lack of a formal operating contract from the New Brunswick government, as well as funding cuts. The attraction near Alma has been popular for its zip line and cliff rappelling, welcoming, in fact, thousands of visitors each and every summer. Nova Scotia's opposition parties want the province to create a women's health strategy. Case in point, Cassidy Walker, who wound up spending $50,000 in Maine for surgery after waiting more than 4 years to see a specialist in Nova Scotia for painful endometriosis.
Everyone who needs this surgery should be able to get it in Nova Scotia. No one should have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to get treatment, and women shouldn't be stuck on a wait list because there aren't enough resources.
Healthcare issues facing women and gender diverse people are just not being addressed. And so the promise to fix healthcare is not, there's not even an attempt to keep that promise when it comes to the most serious conditions facing half of our population.
The Department of Health and Wellness declined an interview with CTV News today, but said in a statement specific healthcare strategy for women isn't necessarily needed because the goal is to improve outcomes for all Nova Scotians. PEI has successfully sold off its cache of American alcohol, and local charities are reaping the benefits. The province is donating $600,000 to organizations like the Salvation Army in Charlottetown and Summerside and the Montague Food Bank. You'll recall the American liquor was pulled off store shelves to protest U.S. tariffs. Several other provinces have been doing the same thing, selling it off and giving the money to charity. Okay, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll take a look at some of the hazards associated with litter. It's not just cosmetic. Coming up next, though, support for seniors.
This means that people are going to be able to get more timely access to care, and they're going to get care close to home, or at home in these cases.
A program providing specialized health care services is being expanded. Details are next. Stay with us.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Move family, make time to spend every morning with us from 5:30 to 10.
We promise to start your day with a smile and feeling great about what's ahead.
Nurses will soon be working in every one of New Brunswick's special care homes. As CTV's Derek Haggett tells us tonight, it's hoped the move will ease pressure on the overall healthcare system.
A program providing healthcare services for people who live at home or a special care or nursing facility has been expanded. The extramural program provides access to nursing and clinical support for seniors and people with disabilities. It's now available to all 424 special care homes in the province.
This means that people are going to be able to get more timely access to care, and they're going to get care close to home, or at home in these cases.
A wide range of clinical services from nurses will reduce the pressure on the healthcare system.
Is the extramural program and the team they have with their nurses, instead of the home here having to take a patient and transport them to a doctor's office, the EMP service can come and support that client in the home.
Now, more than 7,000 New Brunswickers are getting nursing care where they live and not in a hospital bed.
People can have very complex care needs, either in their own home or in our special care homes. And prior to this, we were doing great, we were strong, but now we have this secret sauce available in our homes that we didn't have before.
It means that if they needed a care plan with other members of other services, it means that they have that. It also means, which is important, that they also have access to a primary care provider.
The province says it wants seniors to live a full, healthy life while remaining independent as possible and close to loved ones. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Salisbury, New Brunswick.
Thank you, Derek. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast. It was another cool, breezy kind of day around here, but there are better days ahead. Kaylin has all the details when CTV News at 11:30 continues. Okay, it's Wednesday night, 22nd day of April today, and it was nice to see the sunshine. Still kind of cool around here, but at least we know we're not getting snow like they are out in the prairies tonight.
Yet.
Yet, that's right.
Right, but even the snow that is in our forecast and is in the form of some flurries for tomorrow is not going to match up to what some areas of northern Saskatchewan and northern areas of Manitoba are expecting tonight over the next couple of days. Fresh round of some snowfall and some winter storm warnings there. Some areas could pick up as much as between 20 and 50 centimeters of spring snow. For us, it's going to be more showery conditions arriving for Thursday as this little trough of low pressure arrives from the west. I mean, already tonight we're seeing increasing cloudiness around the region. There's a low chance of a shower or flurry in New Brunswick as well as southwestern areas of Nova Scotia. And then the highest chance of some snow showers comes Thursday morning for western areas of New Brunswick and for western areas of Nova Scotia. Though in most cases, I'm not expecting much in the way of accumulation. You may see a little bit of snow add up on some surfaces, colder ones. That could include things like some tree branches, for example, maybe the tops of garbage bins, the top of cold car roofs. Other parts of the Maritimes will have a chance of a shower throughout the day tomorrow. Eastern areas, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and the east of Nova Scotia. And even where those flurries are present tomorrow afternoon, they should be mixing with or turning over to some rain showers. Winds for tomorrow for the Maritimes, a little bit variable in direction out of the east and northeast for New Brunswick, out of the northeast for Prince Edward Island and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, and then out of the south and southeast for southwestern areas of Nova Scotia. Breezy by our standards in the Maritimes with some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Temperatures tonight will be chilliest in the eastern parts of the region with some lows falling into a range around -2 to -6. And then in western parts of the Maritimes, most of the low temperatures between 0 and 2 degrees. Not as much sunshine for tomorrow, but afternoon temperatures in the north of New Brunswick coming up between 5 and 8 degrees and between 4 and 7 degrees for central and southern parts of that province. Prince Edward Island, the forecast for Thursday can expect high temperatures between 5 and 7. If you're in Cape Breton for tomorrow, the high temperatures up between 4 and 8 degrees, coolest in Inverness County. On the north shore of Nova Scotia, most communities with highs near 8 degrees, and then around 5, 6 degrees for the eastern shore. 8 for Amherst and Truro for tomorrow, then closer to 6 for Halifax and Dartmouth, 4 at Chester and Lunenburg. The Annapolis Valley with high temperatures near 7 degrees, and then on the south shore of Nova Scotia, it's 5 at Liverpool and Shelburne, and 4 at Yarmouth and Barrington. Taking a look at the extended forecast for New Brunswick, chance of showers on Friday, looking pretty fair through the weekend ahead, and temperatures turning a little bit milder through the start of next week. That's when we could have some highs on Monday and Tuesday around the low to mid-teens. It's followed by a chance of showers on Wednesday of next week. For Nova Scotia, in the forecast, temperatures stay cool through Friday and into the start of the weekend, but then finally this pool of colder air that's sitting above us looks like it shifts off towards the North Atlantic through the start of next week, and that could allow our high temperatures, at least for areas away from the coast, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to get up towards the low teens. And for Nova Scotia, or for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, we have a chance of showers on Friday. That's followed by cool temperatures on the weekend with a mix of sun and cloud, and then some high temperatures getting up towards the low teens on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Bruce.
Right, you are. Wake up weather still to come and a whole lot more. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Today was Earth Day, a day to celebrate and protect our planet and to expose our bad habits. And here's one. Now that the snow is all melted away, litter is pretty easy to find. We all know it's an eyesore, but it also poses a threat to wildlife and water sources. CTV's Ryan McDonald met with some advocates who say it's time to clean up our act.
I don't like to pick garbage because I wish it wasn't there in the first place.
In some spots, the trash is there despite signs warning against illegal dumping, or in this case, the fact a municipal watershed is nearby. Middle Lake off Myra Road is beautiful and part of the city water system, but just a few kilometers away, entire bags of trash can be found in the woods and in the ditch.
It seems like there's a bit of a ingrained disrespect here, and I don't know why. I'm from here originally, and I grew up with, finding burnt out cars in the woods. litter around town.
Last week, piles of trash were dumped off a bridge into Little Pond on the north side, though these people taking part in today's Earth Day cleanup at CBU are more interested in finding solutions than pointing fingers.
I just hope that, people are cognizant of, where they put their trash.
There were some issues on Kelly's Mountain where actually volunteers had given time to go up and try to clean things up.
Even a place as postcard pretty as this has had problems with litter bugs and illegal dumping. On some other parts of the Cabot Trail, though, that kind of mess is rare. The area's councillor figures there's a simple explanation: pride.
That it is because people are proud of what we have and they want to keep it pristine and looking the way it does.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, a Maritime ski hill banks up some snow for next year. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Fredericton on this Wednesday night. 4 degrees right now in the Elm City. Kaylin's wake-up weather is coming up next.
Arthritis Society Canada invites you to the East Coast Roast of Steve Murphy. This unforgettable night of comedy and community takes place April 25th in Halifax. Funds raised will support people living with arthritis. Visit eastcoastroast.ca.
All right, it's Thursday morning. Let's kick it off with a look at what we should wear when we're heading out to work and school.
Yeah.
We call it the wake-up weather.
And Thursday morning, just so nobody gets caught off guard, it's possible you could spot a few snowflakes around. First thing in the morning, some snow showers. It's likely for western parts of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia. Morning temperatures mostly range from a few degrees below to a few degrees above the freezing mark. Now, moving into Thursday afternoon, temperatures come up between a range around 4 to 8 degrees, and any flurries or snow showers that are around in the morning should at that point in time be mixing with or turning over to some rain showers. Bruce.
All right, thank you, Kaylin. Well, if you're a betting person, here's one for you. How likely is it that a massive pile of snow at Ski Martok will survive a whole Maritime summer? As CTV's Callum Smith shows us tonight, officials there are kind of rolling the dice, hoping for an early start next season.
Despite being the off-season, work continues year-round at the ski hill. But it's Ski Martok's latest project that might catch your eye, this massive pile of snow.
It's about almost 19,000 cubic meters.
As for its height,
it varies between 12 to 15 meters at this point in time.
People here are soon going to put a massive tarp on it, hoping to get it through the Maritime summer, bringing snow from their 60th anniversary season into next winter.
I think it's no secret this was quite a good winter, Everybody keeps telling me this was one for the books. The people who we are working on this with are saying we will lose between 20 and 50% this year. It's been untested as well in this climate.
I think this is like a future trend.
That company is Snow Support, based in Czechia, supplying the tarp and consulting Martok with big hopes.
It will be also an interesting test, but I think if it works in Martok, I think it will work on the other place in the Canada.
The tarp is insulated with a goal of keeping warm out and cold in.
I've been following snow storage for as long as it's been done, so I remember when it started. I think it was started in Finland and sort of spread through Scandinavia. It's been done in Europe for a while. When it finally was done in Canada for the first time last summer at some peaks in BC, it was like, holy cow.
So while the idea is new to Canada and specifically Nova Scotia, no one knows for sure.
We can end up here with a massive puddle in the summer, fall, but everybody keeps telling me that's not the case, so hold your fingers.
Callum Smith, CTV News, Windsor, Nova Scotia.
Okay, that's your late news for tonight. If you joined us late or you'd like to take a closer look at anything you've seen and a whole lot more, ctvnewsatlantic.ca is always your home for news updates right around the clock. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. We hope to see you again tomorrow night.